Hi, this is Barry Brown, the Science Librarian. We're at the University of Montana Mansfield Library webpage looking for ecology-related information. And we're going to look for books, government documents, theses, media materials, reports, non-journal article related stuff. For journal articles, Web of Science, Google Scholar, Wildlife and Ecology Studies Worldwide would all be great places to look. But for books, we could look at the library catalog. We could use this main search box, or we could go to the advanced search into the library catalog. And the University of Montana has about 1.6 million things in its catalog, books and government documents, etc. But we're going to go to a database called WorldCat, which has the holdings of the University of Montana as well as thousands of other libraries from around North America and many parts of the world. We can go to this databases link menu down at the bottom, and we can go alphabetically through this menu since we know the database we're after. If we didn't know, we could look at some of these subject headings for databases. So under humanities and sciences, biological sciences would be a good one to look at. But we know the database we're after. It's called WorldCat. We're going to the W's, and then we're clicking into WorldCat. So again, WorldCat is a union catalog of library holdings. It's got the holdings of thousands of libraries. It's got over probably 80 million unique things in it. It's a very comprehensive database for books, government documents, theses, dissertations, media materials, all non-article related things. It does have some articles in it, but it's not really the best place to look for journal articles. Version of WorldCat that's on the open web, but if you're connected to the University of Montana, it's better to go through our database menu into WorldCat because then you have interlibrary loan links. Okay, when I come into WorldCat, I have these three search lines. So if I'm going to search a topic like how is climate change expected to impact Western Montana ecosystems, what I'm going to want to do is think about the parts of my search and the keywords involved. Again, how is climate change expected to impact Western Montana ecosystems? Climate change would be one of my subject terms. So climate change on one line, and then I could put Western Montana ecosystems on the second line. Ecosystems is not really related to Western Montana, so that's a different part of my search. So I would put ecosystems on this third line. So climate change is one part of my search or facet. Western Montana is another part or facet, and then ecosystems would go on this other line. But because I'm searching for books, I want to search a little bit more broadly than I would for articles. I may or may not want to use ecosystems. So let's try just searching climate change in Western Montana. Okay, I get 78 results, and I could start looking through these results, but I'm going to go back to the search box by clicking on the searching tab. And WorldCat is a database that lets me put together related terms. So climate change or global warming would be a related term. I might not have all the keywords in my mind right offhand. I'm going to look at some of the search results. That's going to suggest alternate or related search terms. Maybe I would search Google, go into Wikipedia for climate change and see some related terms. It's an iterative process. I'm not going to have them all in mind at once. Okay, for Western Montana, if I want to broaden my search, maybe I just want to try Montana and not Western Montana. That'll make my search broader. Another related term would be Glacier National Park. There's a lot of ecosystem research done in Glacier National Park. Again, I might not have known that right offhand, but if I did some initial searching, I would probably see studies related to glacier, and I might think of that as a related term. Okay, I could go ahead and send this, and instead of 78 results, I get over 500, so I've greatly broadened my search. At this point, the one other thing I could do, I'm going to go back to that search box. This database allows me to use wildcard characters to stem words. So sometimes researchers say climate change, sometimes they write climatic change. And again, sometimes it's climate change or climate changes, sometimes it's climatic change or changes. So the asterisk is a wildcard character in this database, at the point that the word varies, I can use it, and then I don't have to type out all those variant terms. So I'm going to get climate change, climate changes, climatic change, climatic changes, or global warming, any of those combined with Montana or Glacier National Park. So all my results will have one of the terms from this line and one from that line. So that increased my search even more. So at this point, I might be ready to look at some of the results. The Internet tab is typically government documents or electronic books. So if I click on that tab, I could take a look at some of these results. Initially, I see some kind of ebooks, but then I see some government documents. And if I click on the URL, I can often go directly into the government document. Okay, so that was the Internet tab. If I go to the book tab, this tends to be the print books, could be theses or dissertations. You'll see that if the University of Montana Mansfield Library has it, there's a highlighted text that tells me that. And so as I look through here, if I see something of interest, here's The Melting World, A Journey Across America's Vanishing Glaciers. If I click into that, it looks of interest. I see that we have it. What I can do at this point is click Search University of Montana Libraries Catalog, and that should throw me into our catalog, and it tells me the call number, the fact that it's theoretically available and sitting on the shelf. I could walk over to the library and get it, or I could put a hold on it, and I'll get an email telling me that the book is available for checkout at the counter if I want to do that. I could also use this link to find out more about this book by clicking into Google Books from it. Now, if we did not own the book, what I could have done is I could have clicked on this link for interlibrary loan, and that will take me into the interlibrary loan system. If I've already used this and I've established an account, it's just my net ID, and I would put that in, click log on, and all that book information will flow into the system. If I've never used interlibrary loan, I would click on first time users and create an account. Again, that book information will come right in, and the next time I'll just put in my net ID. One other thing to notice is when I'm looking at the book record, so I came into this result, I see these descriptors or subject headings. Sometimes these are going to give me some good terms to use for searching for my topic. So for example, global warming Rocky Mountains. If I click on that subject heading, this may be the most relevant search. This may be the most precise. Besides creating my search on the search page, if I find a good result and I look at the subject headings and click on one of them, that might take me into some good relevant results, and that sometimes is a good way to do searches. Library catalogs are kind of organized with subject headings, so that using them is often a good way to go. I could have, from the search page, I could have limited my initial set of terms to subject rather than any of the fields. Okay, last thing I'll mention is as I'm looking through results for a particular search, I can mark the results that look of interest, and I can export them to a citation management program such as RefWorks or EndNote or Flow. And so right here it says records from that page. I'm going to say no, marked records. I'm going to indicate RefWorks, and then I can export them to that program. If I had RefWorks up and running, it would have gone directly into it. If I don't have it up and running, I'm prompted to log in. If I have an account, I would just put in my information and log in, and those citations would come in. If I haven't done that yet and created an account, I would create a new account. So hopefully you feel comfortable using WorldCat to look for non-article related results. Good luck with your searching.